Hey everybody, what's up? Give me a second. Hello, what's up everybody? I'm sorry, I'm just looking for something. I should have probably found it before I went live, but whatever, I'm not a planner. I don't plan for things. Oh, here you go. Okay. Oh, welcome. There it is. That's what I was looking for. If you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing to me. Let me just slow these lights down so it's not causing epilepsy. All right, there we go. All right, so story time. Let's see. Uh, the story that I'm going to tell you all today is going to be a paranormal story that's kind of weird and really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If this light's bothering you or it just looks weird, let me know in the messages. I'll turn it off, turn on some normal lights. Uh, but alright, so this story is back when I was in middle school and I lived up in the mountains of West Virginia, middle of nowhere, nearest Walmart, like 2 hour drive. And so, like, our nearest neighbor is like a mile away, and they're on our property because it was my stepdad's dad, and it was his property, so we lived on his property. But yeah, so that's just the setting, top of mountain type shit, and like, so one night, me and my brother shared a room, my older brother, and it was like midwinter at this time, and it was like middle of the night. We were asleep, and we wake up because we hear something, and like it's very strange sound, like it sounds like very threatening. Like it sounds like people are talking on our back porch, which is right outside of our bedroom window, right? So it's just a very threatening tone. Like I don't know what they said exactly, but the way it went was kind of like you either do this or you do, or you either do this or this is what I'm gonna do to you, or you know, and but like it wasn't like a country accent like you'd expect out there. Like it would sound like like uh, a New York accent type deal thing. And so like I look out the window and all I see is like we have like a bunch of barn cats. Like people just dropped off cats, so we had a bunch of cats, and like all the cats were just on the back porch in a straight line, sitting down facing one direction, like it was like some sort of formation for the military. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I like look at my brother and like, you seeing this shit? you know? And like he's like pointing at the window like something's there, and like our dogs are like in between our legs, like whining, like they're scared or something. And I look back out the window, and there's this big ass white cat that I have never seen before, like just something I've never seen. And it looked crazy, like it's huge, like it looked like a house cat, but it was like too big to be a house cat, if that makes sense to you. And like he's looking in the window, like right up on the banister of our back porch, like just staring through our window. And like for a second, like I think like he's looking at me or my brother, like trying to intimidate us, like don't tell anybody type shit. But he wasn't. He was looking through my bedroom door across the hall through my smaller sibling's bedroom door, and he was like looking at my little brother in his bed. Like he was like I felt like he was threatening my little brother. So I was like, nope, and like I smacked the window like abruptly as fuck, like super loud, and the cat like jumps and does like a backflip in there and like tries to catch itself on the railing and ends up just smacking its face on the fucking thing and like does like hits the ground and just takes off. Never saw that cat again, but I never wanted to go out there like early in the morning, but I had to because I had chickens and I had to let them out of the coop since they were my chickens. And and since we lived up in the middle of nowhere, like we had to ride the bus for 2 hours, so we were getting on the bus around like 4 in the morning, so we could get ready for school and shit. So sun was still down, obviously, around that time. So it took me a while to be like not looking over my shoulder when I'd go down there. That was a weird place. I'm pretty sure that land is cursed, though. Like the people that live up there kind of fucked up. But I'm not going to get into that. Hopefully, you like that story. I don't know. Uh, Let me think of another story I can talk to you guys about. Uh, Let me just shrink this up. Come on. All right, whatever. Um, I'll just stick with the whole West Virginia theme and go on to another spooky tale about what I've witnessed in West Virginia. Again, middle school age, had my first, or not my first girlfriend, but one of my first girlfriends. I went over to stay at my buddy's house because he lived pretty close to her. Like it's kind of like a mile and a half down the road, but that's easily walked for love, right? And it's like it's not like a real road that they lived on. It's a dirt road, single lane road, so like not great. No streetlights or anything. But so we wait, me and my buddy, we wait for his family to fall asleep, and then we sneak out and we go walking all the way down to her place because his girlfriend was there too, at my girlfriend's house. It was a whole planned thing. Uh, so we walked down there around like 10 o'clock. It's not super late. And we didn't really see anything or feel anything. Then, so we get over there and we don't go to her house. We go to her dad's hunting cabin. So we have to walk across a couple pastures or through a pasture and into the woods to get to that hunting cabin. And me and him got there like an hour before they got there because we didn't have cell phone service there and we didn't really have cell phones back then. But yeah, even if we did like the cell, like there were cell phones. It's just cell service was so limited that there was no point in having a cell phone. That make like you understand? Uh, so we just kind of sat there, and then they showed up with blankets and shit. And this place, this hunting cabin, wasn't like refurbished or anything. Like it just had like some insulation in the walls, but nothing covering the insulation except for like cardboard. So it really wasn't that warm. And so we got like cold waiting on them to show up with blankets. So we just started tearing cardboard off the walls of the cabin and just like burning it inside the cabin on the floor. And the girls showed up and we kept doing it just because we were already doing it. There was already a fire. So why let it die out? So we would just be making out and doing other extracurriculars. One second. All right, so we did extracurriculars and shit, and like around 2 to 3 in the morning ish. Not 100% sure, just basing it off of what time it was when we got back to my friend's place. Uh, that's when the girls decided to go back home, and so we had to leave. Like we thought about just sleeping in the cabin just because we were exhausted, and so yeah, we just kind of decided that it was too cold and we weren't going to sleep there. And we start walking back, and like I start getting like these weird like vibes and shit. Like I feel like we're being followed or watched, and like I'm hearing shit. Like the first thing I remember that I can remember I heard was like a witch's cackle, like the classic cackle, like off in the distance, and I was like kind of panicking. And then like there was like lightning, but it wasn't storming, and like one of the lightnings like flashed, and it looked like I saw like this silhouette of like a huge like unrealistically large spider in the tree above us. Like if you've seen Harry Potter, like that big ass spider in the woods size, if not bigger. And yeah, so obviously when I looked after the lightning flash, there was nothing there. And then like I heard like horse like huffing, like type shit. And like stomping its foot, and like I look up into the field next to us, and there's nothing in this field except for like a tree on top of this hill, and right next to that tree I swear to God, I saw like a horse without a head. So like a headless horse, and it was just chilling there, like wasn't moving, just kind of standing there. And then I went to tell my buddy, and then when we looked back it was gone. And then like I'm for like I'm not saying like this is like real, like this story is like it really like this is what I experienced. Like it's what I really experienced, but what I think happened was like the chemicals in the cardboard from burning it in like a closed off area that really wasn't getting any air through, like kind of fucked with my head. But that's what I think happened because like a witch's cackle, like I don't think like that's something like even if the paranormal does exist, I don't think like witches are just going to be out there cackling. Like doesn't make sense. So I don't think like I don't know. It's stupid. It's so stupid. That's probably not the best story, but we can move on to something. A story that my mom told me about something that she went through up in West Virginia, where she lives. Uh, she was like she usually wakes up like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Like that's just kind of how her internal clock works. And she made her coffee, and she like it's middle of winter, so like fresh snow. So she really didn't go outside, but she doesn't smoke inside. So she just kind of opened her back patio sliding glass door and just kind of leaned out and like kept the cigarette outside and smoked it like that. And like she was like it was how winter is in the middle of nowhere, like just when it's like that early or that late, like and there's just no movement at all. Like it's super quiet with the snow. The snow just muffles all the noise. So just out of nowhere, she hears like somebody like what it would sound like if somebody was walking through like a fresh layer of snow that like had been iced over. It's like crunchy, and it was up on her roof. Like the sound was coming from her roof. So like she's like what the fuck? So he's like leaning out, like trying to see what's up there, and then like this huge thing like jumps off the roof and like glides, up the hill in her backyard and lands up on the side of the hill and then starts running like a person would run, like two legs, just takes off running, like some Mothman type stuff, or just pretty much, or a giant bat, like Jeepers Creepers style. I don't know. I mean, you get what I'm saying. So yeah, and they've had a couple run-ins with that creature actually. My brother, he was coming home one night, and there's two ways to get up to their house. Like you can take like go around one, like there's paths on both sides of the mountain that they live on. And he took the longer route for some reason. And they don't take that side anymore because of these instances with this creature. Uh, he took the longer route, and he got as soon as he got off of like he got up into the wooded areas of the mountain, and he saw something like running beside his car, like in the woods, and like it would like slow down and like go behind his truck or whatever he had at the time, and like go on the other side. Like it pretty much just chased him all the way to the house. And then another time, my mom was going to work, and they were taking that side of the mountain down because I think they had to drop off trash at the green boxes, which is what they like. If you're not familiar with that, it's what they call the dumpsters out there because they don't really have trash pickups. They have to bring their trash down the mountains and drop them off at dumpsters, and then garbage men come and empty the dumpsters. Uh, but it's pretty much just like this lot full of just a bunch of dumpsters. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, they were going down that way, and my mom was like sitting on her phone, like playing some stupid game, and like she looks up, and like as like right in the sunrise, like she kind of sees something hanging upside down on a tree branch, kind of like a bat would hang upside down, like wrapped up and whatnot. And then like she's like, "What?" This is how she went. She goes, "What is that?" And then it just like dropped and it was like falling. And right before it hit the ground, it like opened up its wings and like glided across the road in front of her, landed on the side of the mountain, and just took off running. And like I guess it must have looped back because like she like looked in her rearview mirror and saw it like chasing her car. I wasn't there, so I can't speak for it, but I do believe in these things. I mean, I've got quite a bit like, spooky stories. I mean, all right, I think there's one person watching. I mean, do you want me to get off of this spooky story trail, or you want me to keep going on it? No input. All right. Give me 1 second. Doop. All right. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I guess I'll just stay on the spooky stories, man. Spooky stories, man. All right, we'll go something like way back when I was younger. So I was like elementary school, say probably around third to fifth grade, around that time zone. And we lived in Salem, Wisconsin. And like the building we lived in was attached to like a law firm, I believe. And hmm. So I was upstairs by myself in the in my mom's room playing Nintendo 64, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and I started hearing like whispers coming from like the corner of the room near the closet. And like I really did wasn't paying attention to it. Like it kind of was very dismissive about it. Like I wasn't super open to paranormal stuff back then. Uh, Madeline, what are you doing? But so I really just like I mean I believed in it. Like I've had other instances, so like I knew about it, but like you know when you're younger playing a video game, you don't really care. So hmm, uh, um, yeah. So I'm sorry, I kind of got lost in thought there, but so there were the whispers in the corner of the room by the closet. I really wasn't paying attention to it, and then after a bit, the quiet, like the whispers, kind of stopped, and then like shortly after, it there's like it felt like somebody sat on the end of the bed next to me where I was, and I like looked over like this. I was just like playing big and like that. And I looked over and there's like an indent, like somebody's sitting right there. And then another one shows up next to it, and then I hear the whispering, but it's right there, and it sounds like they're talking about me, and then they laugh. They just laugh at me. That freaked me the fuck. Like as soon as like that happened, I turned the game off and like ran downstairs and I was like, "Mom, somebody's in. Like, there's girls in here laughing at me." That might be where my insecurities come from, honestly. Who do you guys think? I mean, there's only one person watching. Looks like. Who's write me something. We can swap some stories. Unless it's just a glitch and nobody's watching. All right. I guess that's well, stop this at uh if you watch this, please remember to like and subscribe. I honestly feel like I'm kind of have a really depressing vibe going on in this video. Oh well, happens. Uh yeah, I got my nipples pierced so that damn you can't fucking see them. Ah, fucking hell. Can you see my nipples? There you go. You can see that. Did that on Thanksgiving for you guys. You can go back to the Thanksgiving Day special uh, video. I believe it's episode 33 of training to break the smoking world record. Uh, well, there's two of you now. Anybody want to say something? Otherwise, I'm gonna be closing this out, ending the live stream. All right. Well, I'll be making some more chill smoke sesh, vape sesh videos. Probably not live. I'll probably do live again, but I'll be making just posting other videos like I normally do too. Probably do just another story time video in like a couple days. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. If I have the time, I'll do it tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Who knows, you know? But next time I do a live stream, it'll definitely be earlier in the day. So, yeah. Have a good night.